What's up, guys? Going to help you real quick on Monday, Tuesday assignment 2, where it asks you to reflect. And if you pay attention, it says reflect and translate. So there's two things you have to do. Number one, using the app. If you stick your mouse anywhere on here, click and drag, you can center this thing and move it around. You can also zoom out and zoom in. The one thing I figured out that was super annoying for me was it goes by intervals of 2, which is not a big deal, except for the fact that you cannot move to any odd numbers. Really frustrating for me at first. Then I figured out how and why. So the first thing I did was I took my whiteboard and I wrote down the coordinates for A, B, and C, right? So A, for example, is over 2 and up 3. So I wrote that down. B is over 4, up 5, and C is over 7 and up 4. So that's what I wrote down. Now, to reflect, some of you said, oh, I'm going to reflect it. Yeah, reflecting is just the mirror image. The only problem is we're not reflecting from this to here because that's the y-axis. If you read the question, it says reflect it over the x-axis. This is the x-axis. So we're not moving this triangle. This is the pre-image, remember. We want to reflect the image. And how do I know which one's which? The pre-image is always the one that just has the letters. It doesn't have the little ones next to it. Okay, so just remember that. Very important for Wednesday. Wink, wink. Remember. So what I want to do is I want to take A. It's at 2, 3, and I want it to be down here. So I want it to still be at 2, but I want it to go down 3. So by saying that, you should already realize over 2, down 3, over 4, down 5, over 7, down 4. All we're doing is we're using the inverse of the y coordinate. If you change the y to its opposite, it'll reflect it across x. So the way to move it, it doesn't really work well to try to click and drag these to where you want it. You'll end up just screaming at the computer if you're anything like me. So I found a way around it. Double click on the A vertice and it'll pop up. Remember to leave the parentheses or it won't work. It'll say error. And we want it to be at 2, -3. And then if you hit OK, it should automatically move it to where you really wanted it. Let me move this a hair. For B, double click on it. We want B to be at 4, -5. And then for C, double click on it. We want it to be at 7, -4. Now, we have a reflection of it, but that's not the final answer. If you're like, do I have the right answer? When you're done, for me at least, blue text popped up right here and said, you're correct, so I knew. And then I'd take my screenshot. The reason I'm not correct right now is there's one more step. You got to translate. You're going to take, and hopefully you wrote them all down because it makes it so much easier. You're going to take all your x's and you're going to subtract 6 from it. So I would write that over here. I'd write down the new coordinates. You're going to take all the y's and you're going to add 4 to it. So if you take +2 -6, whatever that is, I don't want to give you the answer. You'll write it here. Whatever -3 + 4 is, you'll write it here. And that's where you need to move A to. Do the same thing for B, do the same thing for C. And then once you move them to those new spots, hopefully, if you did it right, it'll say that's correct. Hope that helps, guys. What up? Good luck.